Hello, hi, this is Stephanie from Our Natural Wisdom. Thanks for joining my weekly live here on Instagram at 2:30 every Monday. And just wanted to let you know, I am an eco-intuitive coach and teacher, and I especially work with women who struggle with anxiety and perfectionism. And hi, Kay, thanks for joining. And I love to share simple practices that help you immediately, that you can integrate through your day, just in a typical day. Simple, sacred practices that bring you healing and really allow you to connect more deeply with your beautiful soul and your intuition. And today I am guided to share a little bit about my own healing journey, which is specifically I'm going to be talking about my own grief journey and some things that I've learned about it along the way, some things that have come up recently that are helping me heal even more. And so I really wanted to share that with you because, grief is something that we generally don't like to talk about, right? Because it's associated with death, and who likes to talk about death? Well, we should, because we all experience grief, and we all experience death, of course. But the grief process can be such a something that we hold so closely and don't share with each other. And yet it's something that we all experience. So why not talk about it more, right? And I want to talk with you about how nature is offering to help you through your healing journey of grief in every step of the way. So the thing that's been going on for me lately, hello everybody, thanks for joining. Hi Lorenza, hi Jeet, oh how nice to see you guys, thanks for coming on. So, boy, and I think this is going to be relevant for everybody. I think you guys have all joined today for good reason, because I'm going to be talking specifically about anticipatory grief. And that's a special little brand of grief, right? That is when we are facing an imminent loss. It could be of a person, of a loved one, it could be of a pet, it could be of a home, it could be of, a big transition that's happening in your life, maybe children moving out of the home or something else. And I think most of us experienced anticipatory grief at some point in our lives, because there's going to be something that we can foresee that will end in a loss of some type. And I think that pretty much everybody has experienced that, or certainly will experience that at some point. My own experience with that was with my dear mom, who has been in the spirit world now for 12 years. And she had a type of dementia, Lewy body dementia, just a terrible disease, saw her decline over a period of years. And so that long, slow process of watching a loved one, come to the end of their physical life it can be really brutal, right? So we often, once we've experienced that or are experiencing it, it can bring up so many emotions. So much anxiety, of course, for anybody that is prone to being anxious like I am. It can really bring up a lot of anxiety for a good reason, right? Because we tend to be focusing on the future of what is to come. And of course, nature and connecting with Mother Earth is always bringing us back to the beauty and peace of the present moment. Even if you're going through a difficult time, there is beauty and peace to be found within the present moment. In fact, that is the only place where beauty and joy and love and peace live, is in the now. So we always want to practice coming back to that for our mental health, for our emotional well-being, for our physical health and our spiritual health. We want to always come back to the present moment, which is what nature helps us with. Now, this has been coming up for me recently because, the journey of grief is a lifelong journey. It's something that you're never done with. We talk about the 5 stages of grief or the 7 stages of grief like it's a linear kind of concept, and it's not. It's kind of like a, whirlwind of bouncing around to all of these places. And recognizing that is normal, that is a normal part of the human experience is so important for us. Because as I said at the beginning, we don't talk about grief a whole lot. We don't normalize the grief journey for each other. Well, we recently found out that our beloved green ash tree in our backyard has declined significantly and needs to be cut down because it has been affected by the emerald ash borer, which we anticipated was going to happen. But hearing the news that it's time to take your tree down is tough. And if you know me, you know that I love trees so much, and I have spent so many beautiful moments with this tree, connecting with this tree, breathing with this tree, and just hearing all of their beautiful messages that I've shared with you in so many ways. So the whole idea that it is time to take this tree down I could feel it churn up this anticipatory grief that I experienced with my mom. And that awareness and that knowing in itself is really healing. So when you feel that things are being re-triggered for you, if you have experienced that type of grief in the past, and all of a sudden you're being faced with a new potential loss, or something that you can look ahead and see that it's going to come to an end, and all of a sudden you have this grief that's coming up and you can't understand why, know that it is simply that trauma, and it really is a trauma that is stored within your body. It's still stored within your energy field. It's something that we will hold in some way, shape, or form throughout our entire life. So learning ways to help yourself cope and to help heal yourself during that process is so powerful. It brings you that peace that you're looking for so deeply when you're in the midst of experiencing grief and sadness and that heavy feeling. And again, I said this is a common experience. So we want to talk about this. We want to normalize the fact that, wow, my son is moving out of the house and moving to college. This is just an example. My son's 5 years old, by the way. So we've got a ways for that. But, a client was really struggling with the fact that she was going to be an empty nester soon. That brings up grief. There is a sense of closure there. So let's honor that for ourselves and understand that allowing ourselves that space to be feeling those feelings and to seek out ways that bring you back to the present moment, especially through the healing that Mother Earth provides you in every moment, is really empowering. When my mom died, I was 7 months pregnant with our first child. And, after my daughter was born, that summer after she was born, I really just recall feeling I am living the cycle of life. This is the cycle of life. Somebody incredibly important to me has died, and somebody incredibly important to me has been born. And just recognizing that everything is a cycle, that there is really no birth or death. Energy just changes forms. We see this in nature all the time. Energy is simply changing forms. And that is the message that our ash tree is providing me. Whenever I go out and hug it and say, I'm so sorry that the ash borer found you, and we did everything we could to protect you. And I just keep hearing, don't worry, energy changes forms. And I was also reminded by the fact that for trees, their roots remain living within the ground for, it can be like 5, 6, 7 years or more, providing energy, providing nutrients, providing habitat within the ground. So what we see above the ground, I kind of liken to what we see in the physical plane. And what is happening below the ground is kind of like what's happening in the spiritual plane. It just keeps going. It keeps going. And there's so much life affirming energy that is being released and allowed to be taken back up by everything around it. So in death, there is life. We know this, and nature will always bring you back to this knowing. It is such a powerful feeling to realize that that energy is just constantly cycling through you, through me, through all living things. So trees in particular offer us so many beautiful ways to process our grief and to allow ourselves to experience it without pushing it away, because the trees are reminding us that that again is bringing more energy into the earth and allowing for that cycle to take place so that energy is simply transformed. When we allow ourselves to release what is time to be released, oh no. I'm sorry. That is too bad. I've had a nagging cough and I was hoping it wouldn't go through this live, but it found me, folks. It found me. All right. In closing, before I go into a coughing fit, I just want to share with you a very simple exercise that I call breathing with trees. And it helps us process our grief. I look like I'm crying because of the topic. I'm not. I'm crying because of a coughing fit. Hold on. And I will say, the only reason that I am able to laugh and smile during a topic like this is because I have done a lot of work with my grief, a lot of work processing it. I know it is never going to completely go away, but I also know that in processing grief, we become closer and closer to how the energy is being transformed. And it brings us closer to connecting with the spirit world as well. When we allow it to flow through us, we also welcome the ability to stay connected with that energy as it cycles, as it flows into another form. And when you're talking about the loss of a loved one, especially, being open to how that energy is being cycled into the spirit world is a powerful way to remain in communication with your loved one, to keep them alive within your life. And it is entirely possible. And I would love that for you. So the exercise that I wanted to share briefly is about breathing with trees. So what I recommend that you do is you find a tree that you are especially connected with. Maybe one, oh, I'm sorry, one in your yard, and place your hands upon the tree, feet flat on the ground, and breathe. Inhale your energy up through your legs and your feet, all the way up through your body. And exhale down through the tree. Exhale down through the tree, through your hands, allowing the energy to cycle in that direction, moving up your feet and your body, up through your hands, and down through the tree. And breathe in that cycle for a few breaths. And then reverse the cycle. Reverse it so that you are breathing through your hands that are connected to the tree. Breathe in and exhale out through the soles of your feet. Do this several times through your breath. And just allow yourself to feel the flow of the energy through the flow of your breath as you are working in connection with the tree. It's a beautiful, simple, peaceful practice that I really encourage you to give a try, especially if you are in a place of grief, if you're struggling in some way with anxiety, with anticipatory grief, with simply experiencing your grief journey. Connect with the trees because they really allow us to restore our flow of energy and remind us of the power of connecting with Mother Earth, especially in times where we are struggling. So I am so sorry for all of the coughing. I hope that you were able to hang in there with me. I would love to have the opportunity to support you if this is the kind of work that speaks to your heart. You can click the link in bio to learn more about applying for a free breakthrough session with me. I have just a few spaces available for the summer. It's a bit busy summer schedule, so if you are feeling guided to this work, I lovingly invite you to check out the link in bio and learn more about your free breakthrough session. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.